Welcome, family. Michelle, come on. Come out. Right here, out toward the line. Bring us here. How are you doing? Awesome. Wonderful. So good to see you. Yes, this is Miss Michelle Brown. She's our tour guide. And Dr. Fred Cook. This is my baby, Miss Jasmine. Go get her.
Hi, how are you doing?
14 years old. This is Miss Jasmine. This is your tour guide, Miss Michelle Brown. So we're videotaping you as you get off.
Welcome to the Greenwood High
Cultural Center. Everybody come on off. It was a great trip. Thank you, sweetie. You look so beautiful. All the time. Okay. It's your show now. It's your show. You do what you do. Well, okay. Y'all don't want to come on? Y'all don't want to get out of the bus? Take that shit off from me. Come on. Come on, let me help you. There you go. Follow my side. There you go. Welcome to the Greenwood Cultural
Nice to
Center.
meet you. Hello. Nice to meet you. Hi. Michelle, nice to meet you.
You just take your time, Mama.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Welcome. Hello. Nice to meet you. Welcome to town. Take your time. Welcome. Welcome, my sister. Thank you. Welcome, my dear. Welcome. Anybody behind you? Okay. Oh, we don't want to leave anybody behind. What's going on, baby? Let me introduce our hostess, Miss Michelle Brown. She is one of the executives here at the Greenwood Cultural Center, and she will be conducting our tour. Miss Michelle Brown has, I'll let her tell you all once we get inside.
Okay,
Out
let's
there.
go on in.
Everybody come in, and Miss Michelle will do all the housekeeping to tell you where everything is.
We're going to give you guys a few moments to use the restrooms if you'd like. They're right down this hall on the right-hand side along with some water fountains. And then we'll meet back here and we'll get started.
So everybody can take a break and take care of the particulars, and we will be back. It's so good to see you too. We can.
Programs for children in North Tulsa. I'm also the tour guide. This is my 19th year here at the Cultural Center, and part of our purpose was to educate the public about the events of the race riot in Black Wall Street, because so many people did not know about it or talking about it, and we wanted to acknowledge and recognize our history and our survivors. We issued a plea in 1996 for race riot survivors to contact us. We knew we had about 21 living survivors. We were able to identify more than 165 people at that time. And one of our exhibits is a collection of some of their photographs along with a short caption about something that they remember about the Tulsa race riot of Black Wall Street. I think we are down to 2 survivors so far. But this organization, this building, the concept came along in the early 70s during a Model Cities meeting when the community was asked what we'd like to see in our community. When you drive through North Tulsa, you'll see that there is a definite contrast between North Tulsa, which is predominantly African American, and the rest of Tulsa. The dividing line during the race riot and prior to that was right there at the corner, right down the street at Greenwood and Archer. And we'll see that. And today, it's still somewhat of a dividing line. That's still an invisible dividing line between the city of Tulsa and our community. So although we still don't have grocery stores and restaurants and clothing stores, malls, anything like that, what they thought was so important at the time was a cultural center where our kids could come and learn about their history, but also learn about different forms of the arts. This is a $3.5 million facility. It's 10,000 square feet alone, just in our banquet hall, 25,000 square feet total. We also maintain the home next door that I'll take you and show you that belong to race riot survivors Sam and Lucy Mackey. It still has some of their original pieces in the home, some pieces dating back to 1864, but it gives you an idea of how some African Americans were able to live during that time, which was different from what we had been told. Attending school in North Tulsa, which we had African American instructors, we had a Black history class, but we never talked about the Tulsa race riot or Black Wall Street. They talked about what most classes would talk about then was the civil rights era, slavery, Martin Luther King, some of those that considered themselves bold, talked a little bit about Malcolm X. But here where we were born and raised, people were not talking about the race riot that killed hundreds of people and destroyed thousands of buildings. We were not talking about Black Wall Street that was our Wall Street. It was what our forefathers built. It's what they worked for, what they struggled for. With all the obstacles that they had to overcome, they were able to build a thriving, growing business district that was the most successful, the most prosperous in our nation. And for years, no one here in Tulsa was talking about that. So we took everything that we could get our hands across, such as newspaper articles and photographs, and began to create exhibits to teach the history of the race riot in Black Wall Street. How many of you guys are really not familiar with the history of the race riot of Black Wall Street? Good. Well, we're going to definitely go in depth and tell you the story and show you some of the photographs, newspaper articles, and I'm here to answer your questions. Whatever I can do to better educate you, I'm more than happy to do that. So at any time, don't hesitate to raise your hands and ask any questions.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do the spiritual libations first, and then we will proceed with the tour. So if everyone will follow Elder out the door, you can leave your things here. It's all safe if you want to sit it down. And we can just go out for whatever.